So the journey is underway in the women's 1500 free. Katie Ledecky, lane number 4, the Stanford sophomore to be at 20 years of age. She is the 2-time defending world champion in this event. And Rodney, this has got to be one of those things where when we talked to Katie earlier in the week, she says where her mind goes during this race. This is a long, grinding race, and just to put in the time and the practice to do this, and then she comes out here and makes it look so easy.
And she takes everybody out of their race plan right away. That's what part of her strategy is. She just blasts out, and it forces others to react, and it takes them out of their own race plan. That's part of her success, is the ability to sprint out to the lead right away. I mean, when you look at the distance that she has built over 100 meters right now.
More than a body length.
Todd, it's probably closer to 2 body lengths now, and we're only 102 lengths into a 30-length swim. It's just unimaginable.
Well, Katie Ledecky is looking to become the first swimmer in history to win 3 gold medals in this event at the World Championships. She has 8 world champion individual gold medals. If she gets this one, and it looks like she's on her way, that will make 9.
I don't think she's going to break the world record here, and a couple reasons why. She has been a little bit off here. And when you talk about for Katie Ledecky,
right?
She 3:56 in the 400 last summer, but she did go the 2nd fastest time in history in the 400 in the gold medal performance here, 3:58. But it was about a 1.5 seconds off that performance last summer. Little off here and there. I mean, she was 53.8 on the 400 freestyle relay a little earlier in the meet. She was 52.6 last summer, so about a second off of that. So she's just a little off, and I say off only because everything is comparing to Katie, and that's so unfair. And again, I've talked about this over and over, is when we look back on what she's been able to do in her career, we just have to learn to appreciate the greatness.
Now you saw her split at 200 meters. The world record, which she has, is 15:25.48. And Rowdy, you talked about this earlier today when we were speaking on the ride over here. Her program today especially is not going to be easy. After doing this 1500, she's got about less than an hour to get ready for her next race.
Yeah, and I saw her brother earlier today, Michael, and I asked him about that, and he said, you know what, I think my thinking, and her brother probably knows her better than anybody, is the fact that he feels like she's going to go for it. No doubt about that. She doesn't have a second gear. I mean, it's pedal to the metal all the time. But he feels like if she's so far ahead and it starts to really hurt at about 1,000 to 1,200 meters, she may end up just swimming through that, getting the race done, and getting ready for the 200, because that is going to be a tough semifinal. It was 2 years ago at the World Championships. It wasn't easy last year at the Olympic Games. 102.9 on that split, by the way. She was 102.7 the split before.
How close does she know where she is? I mean, we've talked about this before as a swimmer in these distance races. We're talking 30 lengths of the pool, and you're saying anywhere between 10, 15, she could probably guess where she is within a few seconds.
And that's why that you appreciate the greatness, Todd, because she knows exactly where she's at on every 50. She's got a great feel for the clock, that inner clock. There's her family right there. That's Uncle John to the right. There's Mother Mary Jen with a hat on, studying those splits, trying to figure that out. Mary Jen, also an amazing athlete during her collegiate career.
Brother Michael swam at Harvard.
Brother Michael swam at Harvard. Kicked my butt today in the pool, that's for sure.
Approaching the 400 meters.
4:06.8, about 2 seconds off. Again, I'm not looking for the world record. She's got the 6 fastest times in history. There's her brother Michael to the right. Father Dave there to the left. Just an incredible family. Complete humility, such grace. Talked about that. And you know, another thing, Todd, people always ask me, what makes her so fast? And I think Bruce Gimmel has said it best. He says it's really not the physical part. She doesn't have an especially strong pull, subpar kick. He said she doesn't even have an especially great feel for the water, which is so important. It's all between the ears, he said. It's an absolute burning desire to get better, not being afraid of failure. And that's kind of tees up what Katie Ledecky is all about.
You heard the crowd come alive with a third of the way into this race. Bulgarka Kapis of Hungary, who got the bronze in Kazan, Russia back in 2015 at the World Championships. She is in second place. And again, the fans appreciate that. So really, the battle is on now to see who will join Katie Ledecky in the podium. And you're looking at lanes 2, 3, 5, and 6 that are really in the running.
Hey, and this is the problem for our cameramen. I feel sorry for those guys, man. How do you follow this race? I mean, you've got to go. Literally have to switch back and forth. You can't cover the whole pool because it's impossible. There you go, right there, and then Katie's going right by him. So you have to pan out constantly.
If you're producing the show, you really have to have a dedicated Katie cam.
You really do. I mean, she's not even in the picture. There you go. Now you can finally get her.
So with about a 10-second lead, Katie Ledecky is bringing it to the wall one more time, 600 meters in. We'll be back with much more from Budapest. This is the women's 1,500-meter free final. We'll have the conclusion when we return. In non-shocking news, welcome back to Budapest, where Katie Ledecky still has the lead by more than 12 seconds. She's more than 700 meters into this 30-length race of the women's 1,500-meter free. Todd Harris, Rowdy Gaines, Heather Cox, glad to have you with us here in this beautiful city on the Danube. And Katie Ledecky is absolutely running away with us, Rowdy, and that is the shot of the meet.
Well, she's just slowly gained speed. I really want to put the 800 in perspective. She flipped at that about a minute ago. Think about what that time was. She went 8:15.9 at the 800. That's faster than the silver medal performance in Rio last summer. That's how you want to try to keep things in perspective. How good is 8:15.9? That's the 5th fastest performer in history in the 800. And she did it on the feet on the way out to the 1,500.
And by the way, if she were to break the world record, it would be her world record. 15:25.48 is the mark right now that Katie Ledecky has that she put up back in 2015 in Kazan, Russia. What a performance. And here she is. Let's not forget that she has another race later tonight in about 45-50 minutes when this concludes. So we will give her a pass if she does not stop to visit with Heather Cox.
When you look at the splits, very steady all the way through. The last few have been 102.3, 101.9, 102.3, 2.4, 2.3. So just, again, consistent all the way through. She has that little bit of a loping stroke you see there. Only breeze to her right. So a little short on the left, a little long on the right, which really requires a tremendous core strength that she has. It's a little bit of a giddy-up stroke. Gets those power from their hips. That's what she talks about a lot, how she works on that hip rotation. 102.3 again on that 100. And remember, the last 4 years, Todd, really the last 5 years, if you count London, she's literally doing this by herself.
Yeah.
She has had no peers whatsoever in the 400, 800, and 1,500. Now, when we get to the 200, obviously she will. But in her 3 major races, which, by the way, the 1,500 will be an event in the Olympic Games for women. It's about time when we get to Tokyo, 3 years from today.
Italy's Quadrella now has moved into second place in lane number 6. Miria Belmonte is in third in lane number 5. But it is all Katie Ledecky now, as she is almost up 40 meters on the rest of the field, as she has gone past the 1,000-meter mark. Now she'll hit 1,100. And Rowdy, if you had to guess, where do you think her heart rate is right now as she hits 1,100 meters?
Well, I told my wife this the other day. It's sort of like she and I going out for a brisk walk around the neighborhood and seeing what our heart rate is like. It's not like exhausting, but our heart rate gets up a little bit. That's what Katie Ledecky is like. She just has that high lactate threshold where her heart is this engine. And her heart is also what drives her every single day. She likes the monotony. She embraces it. She really has shown what the future of swimming is like and what it's capable of. 3 great coaches along the way: Yuri Sugiyama, Bruce Gimmel, now Greg Meehan at Stanford. wonderful family life, the ability to put things in perspective in the water and out. She doesn't have any nutritional programs. She's not on any vitamins or anything like that. Kind of eats what she wants to, no supplements.
So now 300 meters to go, 6 lengths of the pool, and Katie Ledecky just like a metronome the way she swims. Not a lot of drop off.
No, 102.6, again, steady as she goes, and I think at this point she knows the world record is not going down. But let's just start looking at the fastest times in history. She has the 6 fastest times in history. 7 of the top 10 times in history are owned by Katie Ledecky. She's probably going to end up bumping Kate Ziegler, who was the world record holder at one point, 15:42. That's the 10th fastest. She's going to be around 15:30, 31, 32, which is going to be certainly one of the fastest times in history.
And Rowdy, give it to some perspective here. The second best performance in this event this year is by American Leah Smith at a 16:01, which is about 26 seconds off Katie's pace.
And by the way, Leah Smith had qualified to swim this event,
right,
elected not to choose it, elected not to swim it. She's got a busy schedule, but she would have been on the medal stand as well. She'll be in the 200 freestyle in the semifinal a little bit later on tonight, along with Katie right now. And local time is 5:57. So when we got 200, I'm going to keep track of the clock between the time she touches. Yeah, let's keep track. The Katie watch from the time she touches to the time she gets on the block and swims at 200 free. It should be about 45 minutes. She kind of drew an unlucky draw there when she had to swim the first semifinal. Much rather have been in the second semifinal, obviously.
And let's not forget, she has a medal ceremony within that 45 minutes,
That's
so she
right.
can't get completely off her feet. Meanwhile, Spain's Belmonte has moved firmly into second place ahead of Quadarella of Italy in lane number 6. So she's coming up with 100 meters to go. Rowdy, you think in her mind she knows the world record's out of touch, so now it's just cruise control?
I think so. Again, I haven't seen any legs, which is fantastic to see, knowing that she's not going to get the record, to kind of back off the legs. See her legs right there? Just a nice light little electric kick behind her. Nothing fancy, but just enough to kind of get her going on tempo. Keep the tempo going. Get your heart rate at a set rate where it's not exhausting. She's figured out what can be sustained, whether she's going for it or not. Now you can see the kick starting to get back into it a little bit. The crowd's going to bring her home. It's beautiful to watch. Again, I just hope that we never stop appreciating what this amazing woman has done over the last 5 years.
Final 25 meters for Katie Ledecky on this 30-length journey in the women's 1500 free, and she will bring it home with an impressive time, not world record, but it will be her 3rd gold medal of the meet. A 15:31 for Ledecky, the 4th fastest time in history. And Rowdy, she keeps just adding more and more to that list of best performances in this, and still has time to remove a cap, get relaxed before second place comes in lane number 5. That's Belmonte, Olympic champion in Rio in the 200 butterfly, and Quadarella of Italy will take the bronze.
How about 19 seconds? How about 19 seconds victory? She beat everybody else in the field by 19 seconds. 5:09 first 500. 5:11 second 500. 5:11 third 500. Chew on that for a minute. Yeah, big thumbs up, Katie Ledecky.
15:31.8. 30 lengths of this beautiful pool, and Katie Ledecky now has less than an hour to get ready for her next race and a medal ceremony. Buddy, this is off at 1100. Where's the rest of the field?
Yeah, there they come. There they go. 19 seconds is a little over 25 meters, and she's going, come on, catch up, catch up. There's that beautiful, beautiful stroke that she has, unmatched in the history of the sport, and I'm talking about a sport that's 120 years, the greatest female swimmer in history, bar none, nobody even close.
End of conversation.
End of conversation. I will stack her credentials against any other. And now the greatest world champion in history on the female side, on the women's side.
Here she is at the touch. After that long journey, we can also mention that Spain, which has never won a medal in this event at World Championships, does pick up the silver, with Belmonte getting a personal best, and Quadrilla of Italy also personal best in the bronze. And there she goes, off to get some kind of rest.